Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Alex of OPL, and today, yes, it is exciting because the Xbox One now has finally been revealed, or the new Xbox, you could say. Woola, woo woo. So, lots of information was presented to everybody, so I might as well break down what's important and what's to note, some pros and cons, basically, of this new device. And of course, I'll get more information as this goes. This is my just first initial thought video on what to expect from this console, and really it yeah, and see where it can go. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, its look or design, I don't know, whatever. First impression when I saw it, it looked actually pretty nice. It looks sleek. It looks like it looks almost like a PVR almost of what I used to record. It just looks very nice. It's not as bulky from what I hear. There's design wise, it's well done, and actually it looks like you can actually do a lot of customization with possibly personality packs, whatever. Basically, you could design it. It's actually a very very nice little base that you can work with. And also it just looks nice. I actually like the look of this, and it's just that I like how it looked from the beginning. Now, some things that we were told about what's different from it from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One. I will note that the name isn't really going with me. It's not really connecting with me. Xbox One, I'm kind of like, it's kind of a little thing to weird. So I'm going to say new Xbox. That's what I'm going to be referring to throughout the video. So pros, things that we look toward. The hardware in this has been greatly upgraded. This is actually insanely nicely upgraded. Basically does it rivals my desktop computer in like some specs, in some respects, as far as RAM and all that stuff goes. So basically, hard drive space, the built-in hard drive is now 500 gigabytes. That's half of what my laptop is. My laptop is pretty damn big, so that's actually really good. Thing to note though, they did need to up the size because this now does have a built-in Blu-ray player, which case the discs that we'll now have for the games are going to be quite bigger. You're going to be able to fit a lot more into there. So developers have a lot more options of what to put into the game. Thing to note, though, is that when you first actually play a game, it has to be installed to the hard drive if you're connected. If it's an online game, that kind of thing. So that I'll go into that later on. So there is some things to worry about almost there. But other than that, it looks pretty good. So basically, the hardware, the performance is going to be almost 10 times better than what we currently have with the Xbox 360. So yeah, with the 500 gigabytes worth of space on the hard drive, the hardware upgraded, the RAM in an Xbox 360 is only 512 megabytes. Compared to most computers, that is jack shit. You could barely do anything on a computer with that. Now they've upgraded it to 8 gigabytes. That is an insane amount of upgrade that you guys have. My laptop has that much, and I play games on it, and it looks pretty good. And right off the bat, the early gameplay we've seen so far is it looks pretty. It looks pretty. That's what I'm going to say right off the bat right now. It looks damn good. And also the processor has been upgraded, developed by AMD, I believe it's called. So that's actually really nice. Now, the thing is, most PC users know that once you try and pack all these kind of things into a tight space, you're going to have heat-related issues. They fixed that. They've made it so things are smaller. There's better airflow through the console. That's actually why the front, I believe it's the top of the console, is actually vented. So the thing is, though, you're going to have to watch out that you do not keep this in a dust-filled place, or else this thing is going to fill up with dust quite quickly. That's a big thing to note. They've also added a heat sink to prevent it from heating a whole bunch. So there is a lot more heat involved in this, but it looks like they're now taking the precautions so we don't have the red ring of death incidents like we used to with the old Xbox, where it just overheated so often, even for that at that time. But yeah, it's pretty damn good. The graphics wise, with all these specs, it should rival some of I'm gonna say like a couple years ago, some of the games on PC, they look really good, and we should be expecting that kind of quality. Graphics wise, we should see a huge upgrade in graphics. That's what we need to see. There is some things that do concern me though. On the back of the Xbox One, the ports that were shown to us, it is kind of it's going to be interesting how they do the wiring, because I don't know if it's going to have a component video. That's actually a big cause of concern for actually a lot of YouTubers. If you do not have an HDMI PVR, you may have to upgrade this. And with all this stuff, guys, the amount of stuff you are getting, the price range of this thing could actually be very, very high. That's actually a huge concern I'm now having when I look at this, because my computer, with almost a lot of the nice specs that the Xbox One had, it cost me in around $500-$600. And the amount of stuff they've added to the Xbox, the amount of integration, the programs, the multiple processes that you can do, you may be looking at this. This might be actually quite costly. As well, I believe Xbox Live has now been up to $100 a year. I'm not too sure about that, but if that is the case, man, that is going to be costing a lot to buy right when this comes out. It might actually explain why a lot of the game developers, like Call of Duty, for Call of Duty Ghosts, that it's being released on both the Xbox 360 and on the Xbox One. So that is something you should worry about. So you may need to be starting to save up your money right now in order to get it, because it is confirmed to come out later this year, like when the presentation said. Other things to note: dedicated servers for every multiplayer game. This is great. The thing that everybody hated about Call of Duty, host migration, you don't have that excuse anymore. There is nothing to worry about. The servers are what are running this, similar to Battlefield 3. And with that, we actually can now expand the amount of players that are playing in the multiplayer games, say in Call of Duty, to like same as what it is on PC, like to 64 and even at sometimes 128. Now, I don't expect Call of Duty Ghosts to go that far, but you're going to probably see a big increase in the amount of players that you have in one map, which means maps might be actually very, very big. But that's actually pretty good. Has lots of cloud integration, so you're able to, once you've installed the disk to the hard drive, you do not need the disk anymore. I'm actually going to go on to this later, because there is a little thing you got to worry about if you're going to try and share this with your friend, though. And we'll get to it in a sec. Anyway, other stuff they've upgraded. The Kinect has been upgraded. It is mandatory, sadly, right now. But it's actually a good thing. They've upgraded so it has a 1080p camera in it. That's amazing. With 60 frames per second, that allows you to actually use Skype now on the Xbox in great quality, apparently. So that's actually going to be really interesting. And here's the thing: you're able to do multiple processes. So while you're playing a game, you're going to also be able to be on Skype with your friends and talk. So that actually makes, say, doing dual commentaries, you could say, much easier if you want to do that. You could even have video cams that may be in the right corner. That's what I'm suspecting that I'm going to try and do. And if that's the case, that is going to be really, really neat. I hope they actually do that. That's actually going to be one big thing. Other things to know about this, this is more into the entertainment aspect of the Xbox. They're really trying to make it so this replaces everything in your living room, basically. It will replace your DVD player. It basically means that you can basically control your entire media hub from your Xbox with voice gestures and your hand gestures. Did I just say voice gestures? I didn't even know I had voice gestures. Other things to note, the amount of control you have with this, because it's actually going to be running off 3 different operating systems. One operating system to boot the device so it actually can just run simply. Another say system it's going to be running off is the shared. That's going to be your Skype, your media, that kind of stuff. And then the exclusive portion is for gaming and what you're mainly doing, which is actually a really good setup, and I'm actually really excited. The only thing that you have to worry about if you're running a lot of games at one time, you will experience probably lag if you're playing a bunch of games at the same time, which I hope you're not doing, because that'll use up your processing a lot. So that is a thing to note, that this does come with the benefits of almost being like a PC, but it also does come with the downsides with the PC. If it's running a bunch of things, it's going to come into a lot of different it's going to come into a lot of issues at sometimes if you're running a shit ton of things at the same time. So that's something you may want to be worried about. Other things they've included is the ability to have it connected to your smartphone. Smartphone. I'm guessing it has to be a Windows/Android device. I don't think you'll be able to use your iPhone to control your Xbox. That'd be pretty cool. But it's actually insane, the amount of stuff. So you actually be able to surf the web at the same time while you're watching a movie. They demonstrated that. It's just insane, the amount of things they've tried to add to this. Now, here comes the cons, because I've really talked about the pros of this and how it does look like it's going to end up really good. Here is some of the cons. There is a possibility for companies to exploit the cloud server or the servers and all to help run the game. So it means that when you get the disc, or whatever, when you do the install, not everything that's running the game will be on that. So there is a possibility for gaming companies to add DRM. I don't understand why they would do this for Xbox One, unless it's going to be an easy way to pirate games. I don't see them doing that, but it is to worry about because that would require you to be online at all times when playing a game, even a single player game if it's so well. Now the device itself, the Xbox, isn't online all the time. You can play offline. That's quite simple with some single player games. Now the next thing to worry about is there is no backward compatibility. This could come with the change with the Blu-ray disc player and how they're doing it. So there won't be any service for backwards compatibility. So you won't be able to play your Xbox 360 games on this. That's the idea you got to worry about. So once you get into this, you're basically kind of throwing everything else out the door. So you can't really get rid of your Xbox 360 if you want to keep playing your other games that you had for it. You can't just put them in. It's not going to be that easy. Other things to note about is used games now could be subject to a small fee. Basically, when you go and buy a used game, and when you install it for the first time, it's instantly installed. It's meant to be installed right away. You don't really have too much of a choice if you're online. Now, once you get a used game from a store, most likely somebody else has a copy of that. Now, recently, actually, one of the Microsoft developers actually just said, basically, pre-owned games will be uninstalled from the previous owner's system and installed onto another's. It's not clear if this process would be negate the pre-owned fee. Now, if that is the case, there is the problem that if the other owner doesn't get online anymore, there is the possibility that you won't be able to install the game. There is that running possibility, and also this makes it so you can't share a game so easily with friends. If that's the case, your friend's going to have to pay a small fee to Microsoft so they can install this and play it without the disc. Now, what does this possibly mean? It does possibly mean that each disc is unique. Well, actually, it does mean that, or else you couldn't figure it out. In which case, there is a possibility that you could get your CD keys exploited, that kind of thing. So there is a possibility of that kind of hacking, which you could be concerned about, but I wouldn't be too concerned about it right off the bat. And like I said, yes, that the games have to be installed upon the first play, and additionally, each CD will be unique, yeah. So that is my basic first impressions of the Xbox One. I think I'm actually kind of excited for it. From what we saw, lots of good gameplay, or lots of good footage. I'm not going to say gameplay right away, but I think there is a lot to look forward to at E3, which is in about 19 days. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this little rundown. Tell me your thoughts. Are you guys excited for the Xbox One? What are you most excited for? I'm more excited for actually the Skype integration that you can use while playing the game. So you can basically talk to your friends that are on PC and still play your game on Xbox, which has always been a little hassle for me. In which case, that'll be pretty awesome, as well as the voice and video chat. So other than that, guys, make sure to leave a comment what you're excited for. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, or if you're thinking about doing things. I don't know. But other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'm out of breath, so I'll talk to you later. Peace.